Hey, welcome back. It's winter time. Hopefully, you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Christmas is literally right around the corner. And for this winter season, I wanted to bring you guys a pretty cool heater that I ended up picking up from Costco's. And I've been using it out for like the last month and a half, and it has worked perfectly. So, this particular heater is the Presto Heat Dish plus Tilt. So, it is a heater that has a tilt mechanism. As I'm showing you the package, you can see all the information on the package. As you can see in a little diagram right here, it comes in a folded position where it's like compressed, and then in order to activate the heating system, you just lift it up and then you can tilt it all the way back up to 45 degrees. So it's been really cold in my city. Today it's actually what 20 degrees outside. Last night it was 18. So 18 degrees Fahrenheit, just to be clear. It's been really cold. And one thing that I have absolutely loved about this particular heater, especially when I first saw it in Costco's, so for some Costco's, I'm not sure where you guys live at and how big your Costco center is, but our Costco's is pretty big. So the aisles are every bit of like, honestly, I would say anywhere from 10 to 14 feet wide, the aisle. And this particular heater was on the shelf, and I stood on the other side of the aisle, which was about 10 to 14 feet away, and I could still feel powerful illuminating heat. So, because of that, I was like, you know what? I need to cop me 3 of these. We ended up getting one the first night, and then I was just like, you know what? I think I need to get some more of these. So we went back and got 2 more. Particularly for this one, I know I've seen heaters similar to this in Home Depot as well as on Walmart's website, and they were always over $100. So that was another reason why I had to get 3 of them, because they were on sale at Costco's for $78. So I'm really excited to show you this one. Like I said, we've been using 2 of them. Our house is a full brick house, so we don't have like the veneer on the outside of our house. Like, we don't have like that wood veneer house. We have a fully brick house. So it gets really cold in the winter and it gets really hot in the summer. Also, another thing, we have not turned on the heating in our house at all because I actually wanted to test this out, and it does pretty good. So for our bedroom is about, I would say, 16 and a half by 14 feet, which is pretty big. We have like 4 windows in our bedroom plus a bathroom that has a window. So it gets really cold in our bedroom. I think our bedroom probably is the coldest room in the house because it's towards the front of the house and we don't get that much sun towards the front of the house. Most of the sun typically is towards the back of the house. So all the rooms in the back of the house tend to stay pretty warm compared to the rooms in the front of the house that tends to get really cold. So we've been testing this out in our bedroom and it has worked out amazingly. Now, I don't have a temperature gauge, so I think I'll probably have to come back with a temperature gauge to actually show how quickly a room can heat up with this running. But as for right now, I just want to unbox it so I can show you, and then I will talk more about how we have been using it and some of the tips and tricks on how we are able to ensure that the heat is blasting in a specific area to keep us instantly warm. One of the things I also liked about this particular product is it did state that it only uses, hold on, where is it? Okay, so it says help saves money. Costs a third less to operate than 1500-watt heaters, can help save enough on electric bills to pay for itself in as little as 1 year at home or at the office. So I did like that, and when I say the heat on this thing is crazy, like it literally feels like you're sitting in front of a fireplace. Like the heat is that hot. So I'm gonna use my nail filing tool to open this up. Okay, so it comes with the foam and it's comfortably packed inside of the box. So let me take it out. If you are enjoying my video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so this is the heater right out of the pack. Let me take off the plastic. So one thing I want to point out is this is the base, and as you can see, the base presses in. So when you're sitting it upright, this will press in, which will initiate the heater to work. But if it tilts over or if you lift it up, this will pop out and it'll make a loud alarm sound, like a I'll actually show you what I'll actually show you what it sounds like when you lift it off the floor. But this has to be sitting on something flat in order for it to be activated. So that is actually really nice, because if your heater ever tilts over, then the first thing and the main thing you want to happen is for the heater to turn off. Okay, so it comes with some important instructions as well as a manual. So read the manuals and read all the instructions to ensure that you're operating it appropriately. Also, as you can see on the back, it has a storage compartment for your cord. So let's sit it up. Put it back down. So this is the position that it'll tend to be in, which is the closed position. So if it's in this position and it's completely pressed down as far as it can go, it will not turn on. So in order for you to turn it on, you have to lift it up like that, and then you can push it down to a certain point to where it's not locked in place. So as long as you open it and push it down as far as it can go without locking it in place, it'll stay on. Okay, so that's as far as it can go down. And if you want it to be pointing directly at you at a level surface, then you can tilt it like that, or you can tilt it back like this. So it tends to tilt pretty far back. As you can see, that's the base. It's tilted back pretty far. So if we pull it down, then yeah, and then if you push it all the way, it locks in place, which will then deactivate the power. All right, so there is a piece of foam. You have to remove that, and then you are ready to use your heater. So when you sit it down like that, it's working perfectly fine. So let me plug this up so you can see how it works. Okay, so this is the one that I have been using for the last 2 weeks, and I just have it in the middle of my glam room. Let me move this chair out the way. I'm actually reorganizing everything. So as you can see, let me put you right in front of it. It's like super hot. It's emanating a very bright orange tint. So when you're directly in front of it, it gets even more orange, which means it's on high. So it has a couple different settings, and I'll show you that in a second. So as you see, it's pointing straight down, and then I can lift it up like this, and it'll be pointing 40 degrees in the air. Then I can push it back down. And then if I push it all the way down, it'll beep like that. So when I push it all the way down, it initiates the alarm to let you know that it's in the off position. And you may want to check your device because, you know, it could be a kid that's by it messing with it. And, you know, it's kind of like a child safety alarm. But then also, if I lift it up off the floor, yeah, so whenever I lift it up off the floor or it's pushed all the way down into its like full its lowest position, then it'll completely turn off. And if it's lifted up, it'll turn off and it'll also sound the alarm. So that's actually really cool. Now granted, at night when you're trying to move it around and maybe put it on a higher surface or put it on a lower surface and that alarm goes off, it's a little startling, but you eventually get used to it. Just make sure you don't have it around any newborn babies or any babies whose sleep you don't want to be disturbed. So yeah, so just make sure wherever you have it is stationary, but if you want to move it around before everyone starts going to sleep and heading to bed. So that's pretty much that. So let me show you the temperature gauge. So the temperature goes from off to low to medium to high. And you know, I typically keep it on high because like I said, it gets pretty cold in here. But yes, like here are some of the instructions as far as like the tilt and any other instructions that they want for you to be aware of. But it's like when you feel it, you can feel it all the way up here. Like I'm actually pretty far from it. Interestingly enough, like I'm 5'2", and I would say you can feel the heat about 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet above it. And then it also radiates outward like this, like it goes out like that when it's radiating its heat. And as I stated before, you can literally feel the heat all the way across the room. I would say you would be able to feel the heat about 10 to 16 feet away. We tested it out, and you can actually feel the heat from one side of my room to the other side, which is 16 feet. So I would say any range between 10 to 15 feet, you're definitely going to feel it. But of course, it'll be less intense the further away the heater is. And again, like I stated before, the heat literally feels like heat from a fireplace. So it gets really hot, and I typically have it about 10 feet away from wherever I'm sitting on my bed, maybe a little bit further away. And if it's pointing directly at me, it literally feels like heat is blowing right in my face. So it can get pretty intense. Like right now, just me doing this review, I'm sweating. And I told you, I don't have any heat on in my house. It's 20 degrees outside and I'm completely sweating. So granted, I do have on a sweater. I do have on a hoodie as well as a little, I would say about a fleece jacket. Not a fleece jacket. It's like a fleece button up. So I have like a thin fleece button up with a hoodie on, and that's pretty much it other than my sweatpants. And I have some nice cushiony socks, but if I were to take this off and have a t-shirt on, I would feel completely comfortable. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this unboxing and this quick review and demonstration of the Presto Heat Dish plus Tilt heater from Costco's. If you are looking for a really good heater that's pretty affordable, I definitely would recommend this. So I'm upgrading from your typical floor heaters, which has radiant heating, and those have lasted us. We got those from Walmart probably 8 years ago, and they have worked beautifully every single year. They get pretty hot as well, but it does take them quite some time to heat up a room. And also the heat is like, it's radiant heat, so it's not like blowing directly at you. So it does take a long time for it to heat up, but the difference between that heater and this heater right here is at least you could sit in front of the heater and get warm fairly quickly, and then over time it'll heat up the rest of the room. I haven't tested it out with using a humidifier. I wonder if I use my Vicks humidifier, if it'll actually make it warmer in the room faster. So I'm actually going to test that out, and I will let you guys know in the comments down below when I test it out to see if it actually makes a difference. But as of right now, it's working beautifully. It gets hot really fast. You can point it directly where you are. Even if you are in a massively big area, like my entire downstairs gets super cold, and my house probably stretches, I'd say my house probably stretches like 40 to 50 feet long, and it's about 20 feet wide. I would say that on my main floor, it gets really cold because my basement entrance is open. So whatever air is coming from the basement, it comes right to the main level. So we use this and we point it straight at us, and it heats up that area that we're sitting in, and we're perfectly fine. No more wasting heating and running the heat, heating up an entire house and paying like $400 a month just to heat the house when literally we're working upstairs 24/7 or we're not even home. So a lot of the times we're not hanging out on the main level, and we're definitely not in the basement. Even though my husband does use the basement daily to shower, and he also uses the bathroom down there. So he just prefers to go to the basement, and I guess so he can kind of be free to like throw his socks wherever he wants to throw them. But anyways, he tends to just take a heater downstairs with him to heat the bathroom while he's in there, and he's perfectly okay with that. It's no point of heating an entire house when you don't have children, you don't have any extra people in your house. It's mainly just you and one, maybe two other people. You just put on a couple heaters to heat rooms that you're resting or hanging out in, and leave it at that. I'm not here to be paying extra money for nothing, when it's like, if I could just heat up a couple rooms and keep those heated, and I can just pay my electricity bill and just worry about that. And my gas bill for the last 2 months has been less than $8 for the last 2 months. I know it's shocking, but that's what it's been. Like, the only hot water that we use is when we're showering. We don't use anything else to heat anything. Our stove is electric powered, and the only other heating that we had was the radiant heating from the house to heat the hot water heater, and the gas pilot for the basement to then heat the water and other stuff like that. But we use enough gas to be able to heat our water, and that's it. So showers are hot, washing dishes is hot, things like that. Other than that, we don't really use gas like that, so it's kind of pointless. But as soon as we turn on the heating throughout the whole house, oh, it's an instant $300, $400 bill. I would prefer to just invest that money into some space heaters and just heat the rooms that we're hanging out in. It saves a lot more money, and then plus the electricity bill never goes over $300 to $400 if you have a gang of heaters plugged up throughout the month, and that tends to save us a lot of money. So I really hope that you enjoyed this review, and if you have any additional questions, please ask them in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.